Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Ozabby here, back again with Demon Slayer. We are on episode 15, and in the last episode we had sort of the culmination of the main group, I feel like, of this show right now, which is, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, and now Inosuke, who is obviously the bald guy, who has an incredibly pretty face, but the anime likes to do, where they make, a guy have an incredibly feminine face, make him look like a girl. You know what I mean? But in this instance, this, feminine looking guy has his shirt off and is incredibly fucking ripped. And is, he's a wild child. What I figured, in the previous episodes, like episode 13 or whatnot, that the guy was somebody who kind of like grew up in the wild, and he said that he didn't obviously have any parents and everything like that, you know what I mean? So, and it seems as though he kind of just grew up on his own. He can't even read or write, so he hasn't been a part of like any civilization or anything like that. So, but I'm loving the dynamic already of like between these three. It's like there's definitely like, it's not peaceful in any way, but it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun between them. So I know to the point that, like, as of at least right now, he has no interest in Nezuko anymore. Like, even though, last episode he was trying to kill the demon inside the box, but now he's so focused on Tanjiro that, it doesn't even matter. It's like Inosuke doesn't care about the battle between, like, of the demons and whatnot, because, like he said when we got a little bit of his backstory, was that a demon slayer showed up, like, in his home, like, somewhere, like, obviously out in the wilderness, and Inosuke beat him down, took his swords, heard about the final selection, and went and did it, and then found out, the demons exist and everything like that, and he just sees it as just, oh, it's a demon, whatever, it's just an opponent. That's all he sees them as. So it's interesting that he doesn't take on the philosophy, like, of, like, of killing demons, the whole, like, he doesn't take on that aspect of the whole Demon Slayer core thing. He just sees everyone as a challenge, and therefore he doesn't care about what's going on with Nezuko. He just cares about Tanjiro, because Tanjiro beat him. So there's that. And then you got obviously Zenitsu, who's fucking crazy, and I think he's my favorite character right now. So there is that. And then so we ended up off the last episode with them in the house with the Wisteria crest, right, which is a part of a family that was saved by Demon Slayers like years ago, like generations ago, whatever, and that family now is like sort of indebted to them, and they get to stay for free, and they get, like, basically treat like kings. So there's that, basically Zenitsu is chasing around Tanjiro now and pissed off because he thinks that Nezuko is like the sort of girlfriend that he's protecting. We'll see how this next episode starts up. I don't know if it's going to start immediately after or what. I'm sure it'll probably start off with just introductions, I think. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, there's nothing else to really talk about, so we're going to get in episode 15. If you do obviously want to watch the actual reaction, then it's in the link in the description below. There's also the link to the full length there if you want to watch this in full, uncut, and not just the 10-minute version. It's there if you want it. But yeah, nothing else to really talk about. We're going to get in episode 15 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 15. Wow. Wow. My boy Gyu is finally back. Thank fuck. Oh, Jesus. So, him, and we also saw a woman called Shinobu, who looks very similar to the girl that was in the final selection, along with, like, Tanjiro and Zenitsu and the other guy. She looks like very similar to her. I wonder if there's any relation. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope it's the next episode, because if so, I'm wearing that kimono. Hopefully he turns up. But who knows what might happen. I can't wait though. Can't wait, because if you don't know, Gyu, you know what I mean? I liked him ever since. Well, you know what I mean? We only saw him for like half an episode, and I don't know. He just left that good of an impression on me. You know what I mean? And what makes it better is that the English dub guy, like voice actor for that guy, is the same one that does Lelouch and Ichigo from Bleach. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. It's so good. But yeah. So we started out the episode with a crazy morning, a crazy morning of fucking Zenitsu. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what he was doing. I thought it was just a Nezuko thing, and he was just like, of course, preying upon her like he would do. But then he did the same thing to Tanjiro, but like, you know what I mean. And I don't know if it was like Zenitsu's way of like trying to get in good with Tanjiro, so he would allow him to be with Nezuko kind of thing. I don't know what he was going for. But then that sort of, Inosuke come in and he started chasing after Zenitsu after the old woman was talking to him, and Inosuke had this like face. I mean, he had a ball face, but like he always does. But he had this like moment a few times in the episode where he had these like little bubbles, whatever the fuck they were, kind of be like, and because I can't see his face, I don't know what he's taking from that. Like, I don't know if it's a case of like he doesn't understand like really what's going on. Like when they're giving him like this kind of things, like when he's getting thanked for something, like I don't know if it's a case if he's like, if he just really doesn't understand it because he's never been like thanked before. So because that also happened earlier, like, in the episode where he was trying to understand what things mean, like pride and stuff like that, and things, and like, what does it mean? What do you mean behaving properly? What does that mean? I don't know if it's a case of him like getting information that he's never even heard of before, and like I kind of imagine his face underneath being like, those blank stares that anime usually do, where they're kind of just like, you know what I mean? Like they can't believe what you know what I mean? Like they have no opinion of what just happened. Or they just can't believe what's just happened, so they get that like really blank stare where they're just like, okay. I think Tanjiro did Zenitsu like a few episodes back, but like it's, I imagine that's what his face is. That's what I took from what his like little expressions were, but I don't know. But it kind of forced them to go a bit like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm sick of this, and rushed in and started chasing Zenitsu around. So yeah, like I said, it's all crazy, and there's no more peace anymore with these lot around. So yeah, they are off to Mount Natagumo. Well, they're not even off; they're there. Natagumo, I should say, not Natagumo, Natagumo, which essentially is Spider Mountain, or at least the forest that surrounds it is inhabited by a spider demon family, which I assume the guy said there was 5 of them, that I assume were family members beforehand. The reason why I think this is because, well, first of all, the idea of the blood demon art thing, I don't know if that is an inherited thing that you are just naturally good at and therefore it applies. Because the Suzumi was a thing that applied from the human Kyogai and the demon Kyogai, and that sort of just applied and worked that way. But I don't know if it's a case of he just used that as a, oh well, I played the Suzumi anyway, screw it, I'll just use that as part of my blood demon art. It would make me wonder what that family was like before they were demons, if they've gotten these spider powers. But I don't know if it's an innate power that you get if you become a demon. That is obviously just something that you get because you have that, you're part of that family. You have that sort of just bloodline that works with that thing. It could be the case because of the fact that Nezuko is just naturally strong. I've talked about this previously in, obviously other episodes, but the idea that like, I feel as though the Kamado family, Tanjiro's family, are a bloodline that Muzan Kibutsuji clearly doesn't like. And for whatever reason, it may be the fact is because their bloodline is just that way inclined to kind of combat the demon virus thing, whatever the fuck it is. Like, it's able to combat the demon like blood. and therefore work in different ways. Obviously, Nezuko, being able to just pretty much straight off the bat, like, fight against it, and she sees humans as family. I mean, that was the hypnotic suggestion, but she saw through the demon blood and was able to, see Tanjiro as her brother. So, there was that. So I don't know. It could be a thing of. I think they are the same family in that respect. If it is an innate power that, of course, their family would get, and that's why they all have the similar thing, the spider thing. But also the fact of, like, we've already seen that demons don't get along. So, the way that they would get along, I feel like, would be that they were family beforehand. So that is interesting, that a demon turned in other aspects, not like Nezuko, because obviously she's an exception. But other demons, like, will kill their own brother and stuff if they're a human. But if they're all turned into demons, they see each other as family, which is an interesting sort of, like... I would like to have seen, like, what that would have happened. Like, I don't know if they're going to go into this because they like to do this thing where when they kill off the demons, we get the demon backstory, right? I would like to see that. It would be interesting to see them, like, when they recently were turning into demons, like, how they reacted to each other, Because it seems as though when they're first turned, they're very feral, and there's not much thinking going on. That's why even Nezuko freaked out on Tanjiro. But, so it would have been interesting to see them do that, and, like, when and how they figured out that they were family members. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if they're family members. I just assume that they are, because I feel like they are able to get along like this, But we haven't seen the 12 Kizuki yet, and we don't know how they react with each other either. So, it could be either or. But, the fact that they use the same powers makes me feel like they must be, right? They must be family. So, yeah. Interesting. So, the one guy who I'm assuming is the leader, but I really don't know, because Urokodaki specifically stated that they don't know who the leader is, right? They don't know. The guy just never really shows himself. But Geiyu clearly had a relationship with Urokodaki in, I don't know what form. I don't know if it was mentorship. I feel like it was because of that relationship that I feel like Geiyu had with Sabido. Having half of his sort of kimono. And Geiyu was there. So Geiyu knows who that guy is, right? He must do. He may not be the leader, though. He may not be, like, the overall leader. He may just be the assignment giver, like the one that has the information and gives out the assignments. But I don't know. But regardless, that guy, I saw a little bit. It seems his upper face is heavily scarred, which is interesting. So I don't know the ins and outs of what is going on there. I mean, I'd have to assume it was from a demon attack. But I don't know. I wonder if there's a... Because what would be cool is something stopping midway. Like, cause I guess it doesn't take long for them to turn into a demon. But what if, like, they were about to turn into a demon, but they were stopped by, like, the Wisteria or something? Would that be able to combat it? Like, if you were quick enough, could you, like, it's something similar to, like, if a zombie bite, for example. So if a zombie bites you on the leg, and a guy cuts off, basically, from, like, just below the knee or whatever, or above it or whatever, to cut off that leg, then it doesn't mix in with the blood, and you don't turn into a zombie, whatever. Like, I wonder if that would be the case. I feel like it's not obviously the same, because being bitten by a zombie, it takes a while for the fever to kick in, and then you die from the fever, and then you come back as a zombie. But with the demon thing, we've seen before, like, it can be very quick, especially with, like, Muzan, what he did with the But again, I feel like it's a lot of it is dependent on where you're given the demon blood. If you're given it like nearer the brain, then I feel like you turn quicker. But it would be interesting if there was a case where if you just had Wisteria on hand and you were quick enough that you were able to stop the demon process, but it affects you. I don't know where I really got that from, but I'm just thinking like it would be an interesting sort of theory on why he's scarred. Like if he was about to turn into a demon or something and it just like affected him in one way or another, but it was stopped and that's why he's got the scars. You know what I mean? It's very out there. Like I have no like information regarding to why that would be the case, but it would be cool though. You know, but yeah, he could just be the assignment giver, leader. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, he sends out people as well. So he sent 10 Slayers, and Murata he's not a Mizunodo, but he said they keep sending Mizunodo though. So they're sending the lowest ranks in there, which, you know, I don't know if that means that like an added thing of they sent 10 in and then they keep sending like Mizunoto in afterwards, so there's more than 10 in there. I don't know if that's what he meant. If that is the case, and it's a bit not great, is it? Like you're sending in the lowest ranks and then not getting anything done. Like it seems a bit, you know, like a bit of a bad choice. And now they're sending in the Hashira. Hashira. Yeah, Hashira. Which I can't remember what the ranks are. I think it's like I think well there was 10 of them, right? And half of them, like the first half of each rank was like ended in Odo, right? Like Mizunodo. And the second like half of that would be like the same first half of the word and then like something else. So I don't think Hashira is one of those ranks. So what's a Hashira then? Is it like a specific type of Demon Slayer, or is it like a group? If that is the case, then that's fucking cool. That is cool. And Geiyu is one of them, which is awesome. I don't know how old Geiyu is. I just can't wait for him to get in there and start fucking shit up. But yeah, so Zenitsu was fine. He didn't want to go into the forest at first, of course, as he wouldn't, you know. But then realized, oh shit, yeah, Nezuko's in the box. That forced him in there. So yeah, as long as it's a girl in trouble, he'll go in there. So that's good. With Nezuko around, that means anytime they go in, like to face off demons or something, or go into a scary place, that Zenitsu is almost going to be forced to go in now. So that's good. I like that. So yeah, manipulation thread. So the spider thing, they're using spiders to essentially attach the threads of those spiders that are attached, obviously, to the demon, to manipulate the corpses. So they are dead then. I thought it would have been a puppeteering thing. I just felt like it made sense, especially when spider threads are very thin and can't be really seen when they're specifically just one thread. Like it's really tough to see, so it would make sense. And yeah, I mean it does that still, that doesn't like that. They can do it with people who are alive though. I mean, we saw that in the flashback where the 10 Slayers walked in, and you know the guy who was in front changed immediately. It wasn't like he just been killed and then immediately manipulated. So it can work against people who are alive, which is interesting. And then obviously they force them into killing the other people, which is fucked. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. They seem to have a more territorial. Well, I guess all the demons were territorial, but they seem to be more like, we're killing you because you're walking into our home, as opposed to anything else, which I guess makes sense spider-wise, because that's what spiders do anyway. Their home being their web that they create, and if anything, you know, trips the wire, so to speak, like trips the web, then the webs are there to cause vibrations, to the spider who's generally in the middle of the web, and can feel obviously the vibrations like precisely from where it's coming from, and then they go hunt it as it would be stuck in the web. So it makes sense, I guess. And obviously tied with that, we had Inosuke, who we saw his 7th form being spatial awareness, which is a really, really cool effect. The UFO table are one of the best. I feel like it like creating a visual that is so like smooth and just a really cool like I don't know any other studio that does visuals like them. You know what I mean? There are obviously like other studios that are able to pull off their visuals in their own way. You know what I mean? But like UFO table have their own style, which I really appreciate. I mean, I've talked before about how they mix and match 2D and 3D really well, and 3D has this people are really not fond of 3D generally in terms of when it comes to anime and stuff like that, but their 3D is so well done. You know what I mean? I don't think there's another anime studio to my knowledge that does 3D better than UFO table. You know what I mean? And they use it in the right ways. They don't completely saturate the whole fucking like anime with it. They put it in certain scenes where it's not in your face and it works within the the art, and I really like it. I really love it. Yeah, so the spatial awareness thing, that just a really cool effect. Like it all comes out from Inosuke like a sonar, and having. I love it when you can tie something back and sort of work in the original art style of something. Obviously, because it comes from a manga that the pages are black and white and drawing, and the way that they would describe animation in a manga is to if you have, for example, the biggest thing that people know about is speed lines, right? So you would sketch in speed lines to let you know that they're moving in this direction at an incredibly fast pace or anything like that. Anything like that. Oh god. Anyway, when you can work like the original art into that, I feel like they did it incredibly well here by having the sonar, because obviously sonar works in waves, right? So it's not all from where Inosuke is to where the person is. It's like a heartbeat in a way. So you know what I mean? So I really love the fact of like that the wave itself going across the landscape and everything like that is drawn in, and looks like it's not like it looked like they didn't just get rid of the color for that part. It looked like they actually sketched it in like as a different sort of animation in that like that little area. It just looked really cool. So yeah, that was really cool. And then obviously at the end there we had Ukogi, which is the name of the sparrow. I love that the sparrow is like very like so small, but like is a really like not aggressive, but like it's like the sparrow doesn't take any shit from Zenitsu, so just gives him shit all the time. I find it really funny, and like all you're hearing from it is just choo choo choo. Love it. It's great. But yeah, I mean that's all I got for this episode. So yeah, I'm really excited for the next episodes coming up with I hope it's next episode because I'm going to record that now. So I hope Gehu turns up, but we'll see. I'll wear the kimono, so he has to, right? He has to. But yeah, that's all I've got for episode 15. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there, ask any questions and stuff like that. And I also have a Patreon page as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards there, like early access, $5 a month. That gives you access to shows a week early. So obviously, episode 16 will be out at the same time as this episode. for the general public. So if you go watch episode 16 right now and you want to watch episode 17 and 18 right away, you can do by becoming an Early Access Tier patron. There's also full-length tier there for $10 if you want to watch any of these shows, like obviously the reactions in full and not just the 10-minute cut version. Then you can do with that. And then there are other tiers where you can pay to have a show reacted to as well. So if you want me to react to a show, go have a look at those tiers and see what they offer. But that's all I got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.